going on, everybody's favorite YouTuber, Playboy Gamer 16, back with another video. In today's video, we're about to discuss the most recent episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. Man, one thing I'll say about this might be the anime of the year. When it's all said and this anime might be top 5 of all time, because every episode has been amazing. Every episode has topped each episode. So, do a little bit of mixture discussion and explain it. So first, obviously, if you remember the last episode, start off with Haruto basically sneak attacking Megumi, and Megumi was basically recovering from fighting Dagon and fighting Toji, his dad, and he basically was he had nothing left. He had nothing left. So bam, that's when he finally says, you know what, forget it all. If I'm gonna die anyway, I might as well go out swinging. So that's when he summons his most powerful Shikigami of all time in a ritual ceremony type fashion, because it's essentially Magaruto essentially is the strongest Shikigami ever, and boom, and it's never been tamed by anybody in the Zenin family because it's too strong. And he believes that most users had to basically the last people that had the 10 shadow technique, he believed most of them used it in the same manner, where it was like, okay, this is my trump card, and like if I have to die, I gotta die. Because the condition for him summoning was essentially if he dies, essentially the ritual is not over until he dies and the person he summoned it against died. So bam, then it cuts to him and Gojo talking, and Gojo was like, you know, the last time he said, you know, the reason like why we never got along, or like why our two clans got along, is basically just a power dispute. And he said, you know, the last person that had the Limitless and the Six Eyes technique died to the person of the Zenin, like the Zenin family. They basically killed each other. And that's when Megumi was like, there's no way someone straight up killed this person, or he basically doesn't believe he would ever become strong enough to surpass Gojo. But he believed this was the only way. Now, to give a little brief explanation for like what this Shikigami basically does, it's divine purpose's ability to adapt to any and all phenomenon. If it's injured in a particular way, the 8 handles, wheels turning, allowed to adapt to its adversary, and the same technique, he'll counter it again. For Black veterans, if you know Darkseid from like the DC comics, I feel like he kind of similar to him, where it's like he can adapt to anything. So essentially, if it worked once, it won't work again. That's when Sukuna sensed this, and Sukuna, man, top tier power. He sensed this and was like, he basically came over there. He saved Haruto because Haruto was gonna die, and that's when they also explain Haruto's power, which is basically the purple markings on his eyes are like miracles, and essentially it's like a certain amount of them saved up, and once he runs out of those, he's gonna die, because that's the way he survived Nanami's attack from earlier. So bam, we see Sukuna save Haruto, and he was like, all right, I did the right thing by saving him, because if he died, basically Magaruto would be gone. And so that's when he heals Megumi and was like, nah, you can't die, I still have plans for you, you can't die yet. So bam, that's when one of the best animated fights in the whole season. It's Sukuna versus Magaruto. They're fighting, he keeps slashing him, and he's like, all right, what allows this to like essentially keep working? He's like, I don't understand. Like he was basically analyzing as the fight goes, and it's still, even though it was adapting, like every time he was slashing all that, it was essentially like Sukuna still had the upper hand by either way. Like there was no it wasn't a back and forth. He had the upper hand the whole fight. That's when he realized on his will, and the wheel spinning on his head is how it affected. And he was like, okay, so it's in perfect harmony and balance. So that's why it's always able to adapt to anything, because his power is literally just to adapt to anything. And then bam, that's when we see Sukuna's domain for the first time. And his domain, instead of it being an enclosed space, it's spread out, and it literally slashes everything within a certain radius. He actually had to shorten it, because if he put it up to his max radius it usually is, it would have killed Megumi. So bam, Magaruto couldn't survive it, and that's how he beat him. And then that's when he was at the end of it, and he was like, yeah, because that's basically when the power, the fingers was wearing off, that all he ate, and Itadori's about to start taking control again. And he was like, well, you got to see everything. And then Itadori basically broke down to the ground and was like, this is crazy. It's just, yeah. And we also see at the end of the episode that Nanami survived from Jogo's attack. But yeah, this anime just keeps getting better and better. It's one of the war animes I'm keeping up week to week. Can't wait to see how they're gonna top it. But that's all for this video.